Hey there everyone, welcome back to Game Binding. My name is Dave, and today we're about to get all wibbly wobbly with the review of Doctor Who Keys to the Tardis. Let's do it. Now, as a disclaimer, this is a review copy from Outset Games. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just tell you, this game is a light one, and it does have Doctor Who plastered all around it, but essentially what it is a hand management game and movement on a grid. You're trying to get from one side of the TARDIS to the other side of the TARDIS and do that before everybody else. And there are various different doctors that you can choose from, all the modern ones. And Outset Games has impressed me with their production, and it's not any different for this game. So let me go ahead and show you the production of this game, explain how it plays, and then I'll tell you what I think. Let's go. Alright, so this is what comes in the box, and I gotta say, these cards are bloody brilliant. Linen finish, the backs are very vibrant and nice, and normally I don't go for the live action pictures, but they made it work. And the actual items, they made a more of a fleshed out illustration, which is very appreciated. I like that very much. And all the doctors from recent years are here. You got the dreamy David Tennant, my girlfriend loves him, and then you have the dialects on the, I always say Daleks. I always say it terrible. My girlfriend makes fun of me. So, and then you have all the colored TARDIS pieces, and that's essentially it. The standees are nice. They're easy to come out. They don't hurt the cardboard standees. So, you know, the production is fair. I dig it. So now let me show you how to play. Alright, so this is the game set up, and it takes up quite a bit of room, and it could be messed up easily, but we'll get into that later. Well, your goal is to take your doctor all the way to the other side of your opposing side. So if you start over here, you'll come all the way over here. If you start up top, you gotta go bottom, and so forth and so on. Once you reach that side, you win, and that's it. On your turn, you'll draw a card, so you have 4 cards in your hand, and then you play a card or discard a card, and then you have the option to move, and then that will end your turn. Now, in order to flip these tiles and move on to them, you're going to have to play the colors. So in order to play this one, get on this one here, I'd have to play a red card. I do that, and then I can move on to that there. Now, there are other tiles that have special spots. Now, on these here, we cannot move on to that. It's blocked unless we have a special card called the Cookie Jam. And if we have this Cookie Jam here, we just go ahead and place it on him, and then basically we can move on to him, and that's that. Now, other spots include, but are not limited to, spots like this that have a TARDIS key. If you were to flip it over and move on to it, you would get an extra action. But if you flip over another one and move on to anything that gives you an extra turn, well, you can't take an extra turn after that. Speaking of which, this pretty much is the same thing. You'll take a turn when you land on it. The difference is this TARDIS key gives you an initial bonus action, but this extra turn gives anyone who lands on it an initial turn. And the applicable rules, like I said, are followed. Time barrier card can be played to kind of jam up some stuff here. And there are things that are teleports. So if you land on a teleport, you would go straight to the middle here, and then you can go ahead and move out of it and in the same way as you would play a card and move. In order to move onto it on a regular basis, you would have to have a sonic screwdriver of any type. Any of the doctor screwdrivers will work, and then you can move on to it, and then you can move off to it. But again, teleports can just move you straight on. And you have other cards like time tunnels, and that can connect to other spots, and the other ones that make people move, and the Pandora that stops a person from moving for 2 rounds. Now, I didn't mention that when you move, you can only move horizontal or vertically, unless you have something that breaks the rules, like these 2 time tunnels that you can place next to each other, and they can be diagonal if you want. But that's the only exception to the rule. And that's it. Again, like I said, once your doctor makes it through on the other side, these are empty spots. They can move on just easily. And once they reach it here, they win. Alright, so now let me tell you what I think about this game and give it a grade. So that is how you play Doctor Who, Keys to the Tardis. And we're going to go ahead and give this a grade. It gets a 70. It's okay. I'm willing to play it, but nothing that I'm clamoring at the bit to get. I'm just a poet and I didn't know it. Now, I am a Doctor Who fan, not a huge one, but I have watched a good handful of them, pretty much all the David Tennant ones, and I have a lot of references that I picked up on, and a few that I didn't, but my partner, she picked up on, and that was good for the first maybe 2 games, but after you've seen all the cards and read the flavor text, the theme kind of falls, and it's very thinly veiled. This game could have been pretty much anything, and it could have worked the same. Now, the game mechanism, do I think it's fun? A 2-player game, it's a good back and forth pull. In a 3-player game, it does have a little bit of negotiation and working with each other to try to you know, block other people with different cards, but there's not much to mitigate the progress of other players. You're pretty much just trying to figure out how to manage your hand properly, and the randomness of the board, you don't know what's going to stand in your way. You could have all the spaces that give you extra turns on your side, and on the other end of the spectrum, the opponent could have all the bad spots and trap them in, and that game can just be a lost cause. So the randomness kind of got to me a little bit. The fact that it didn't really look like the Tardis, other than just the middle part, kind of had a little bit of flair, kind of got me. I do think the production is very, very nice. I love the linen finish on the box, on the cards, and pretty much everything else in this game is nicely done. So there's that. And this is going to be for casual gamers for sure. The replayability is not going to be very high. I'm recommending this for people who really like Doctor Who and just want to have something that has Doctor Who on the front of it, but doesn't really have the theme, and that are on the younger side, because I mean, this is a very easy game. I would say anywhere from like 10 to maybe 16 might be the demographic. There is a bit of thinkiness and tactileness to the moving, but again, it's really just play the cards that are in your hand. But you know, it's worth a play or two. Nothing that I can really recommend overall. So thank you so much, Vine Nation, for tuning in. If you haven't already, click like and subscribe. Thank you, Outset Games, for providing me with this game. I really do appreciate reviewing your games, and your production value is pretty darn high. Keep up the good work there. Now, until the next time that I see you, have a great rest of your day and a great time with all you play. My name is David, and knock, knock, who's there? The Doctor. Vine Nation, we love making content here for you on the channel, and we're almost at 10,000 subscribers, so subscribe now and help us out. This video right here, I think you'll like. This video right here, YouTube thinks you'll like. Or you can just sit here and watch me dance as a dinosaur for a little bit longer. You can visit us at our social media outlets, and we're going to be improving our Patreon here soon. That's all for today. Miko, it's time to go. Good girl, Miko.